So we see Jason Keller climbing from his car. So the smell of victory he had at Bristol a couple weeks ago will not be today, and he is so dejected right now. Ever see Jason on the very bottom of the racetrack? Just a little touch from Todd Bodine, looks like. Started to go over. The roof flaps we see are deployed on the roof. Kept the thing on the ground and inside that wall.
If you're not familiar with those roof flaps, they are stall strips on the roof of the car to keep the cars from getting up off the ground and getting airborne. Another angle looking up the straightaway.
When you say it's just a slight touch there from the 66 car, Kyle?
Just a slight touch, and it doesn't take much. You know, we'd already, Jason had helped the 34 car get to the lead. Terry Labonte had turned left on him getting in the corner and drove down under him. Whether Jason's car was working like it needed to be or not, I don't know, but just a slight touch right here. You see the 66 car right here to the left of the screen.
Going down in turn one, right along with Randy LaJoy, the Bob Evans reference. Right in the middle of the screen is Jason Keller. Come up and right there, just a slight touch, and around he goes. And that could have been big. Luckily, the car spun off the racetrack down to the inside. Not luckily for Jason, but for the rest of the field. It was lucky that he slid down to the inside, not to the outside.
Jason Keller came into today third in the points, just 47 points behind Elton Sawyer, who is already behind the wall in the garage area. Here's our leader, Mike McLaughlin. Now on that right hand, he has up on the side of the steering wheel there, he has a broken second and third fingers. He broke at an incident, almost a head-on collision at Bristol, Tennessee 2 weeks ago. He's got a splint beneath that glove, and then a tape, then a bandage, and then the glove on that right hand.
He stayed on the racetrack, and everyone else comes down pit road. What in the world was Mike thinking of?
Let's go down to Bill Weber in the pits.
Well, a lot of activity here on pit road, but there could be problems for Matt Kenseth. He said he had a lot of smoke, thinks perhaps an oil line might have come off, but he still had oil pressure. Now they're hoping it might just be power steering fluid. They decided to do a 4-tire stop. Several teams down here have talked about doing just a 2-tire stop. Right behind him, Tony Roper's car fell off the jack. Earnhardt Jr. is away. Nemechek beat him off pit road. The 17 squeezes the 1, the 32 slides to the inside, then 2 more, then another pack of 4 off of pit road. The 34 stayed out on the racetrack.
Well, all this action taking place during the first caution flag. And now let's go back to Ray Dunlap, who's standing by with the guy who was our point leader coming into the day. Ray?
Well, he was, Doc, and an average finish of 10th all season long so far this year, but that's not going to be the case today. We talked an awful lot about how important longevity was. What's the problem with the engine?
Well, Ray, it looks like it's busted a piston. It's unfortunate. You know, we've struggled this whole week here. We did everything we possibly could. We put a new motor in again this morning, and you know, we didn't make very many laps. So the guys will just we'll load up and keep our heads up. And it's still a long season, and we're off to California. Be back in our Ford Taurus with Jack Roush Motors. Be a lot happier about that.
Well, guys, an awful lot of work has gone on in this crew for the last couple of days, but they will be the first car out of the race.
Boy, after back-to-back top 10 finishes at Nashville and Bristol, Tennessee, he will call it quits here today. There's the reason for the caution flag. Jason Keller bringing out the first yellow flag of the day on lap 26. We are under caution at Talladega Superspeedway.
What on earth is McLaughlin thinking?
It's not a tire issue. You know, it's a fuel issue at that point. You know, because you can run, and I mean, I would have pitted now and changed 4, and then 2 tires later. You know, if you were worried about it's a tire issue.
Some of the guys thought they could go 56 laps at just halfway and make it on one stop.
Yeah, and tires are not an issue. And tires are not an issue.
If they made a green flag stop, they're only going to change 2 rights anyway.
Yeah, if you're going to fill it up,
right?
Yeah, we'll go cancel.
I was going to get 4.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Okay. All right.
Can we get a... Does the 75 car get lapped? Or who? Kelly Denton set down. Maybe made another stop.
Did he go a lap down?
I don't know. They kicked him back. No. Just the last
Wait a
one.
second. What's this guy running across the racetrack?
See the blue?
Water bottle.
Water bottle. Okay. Could we ask somebody what McLaughlin's strategy is, if he has one?
If he has one.
Okay,
That's a good question. Valid point.
Why?
If you had a strategy, what was it?
Yeah. I mean, hey, maybe he's going to make one stop, and so he's just,
If he is.
He's just going to make one stop. Well, that's fine, because all these cars got to make another stop.
Yeah, they are. That's true.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
ABC Sports live coverage of NASCAR coming your way today from the mammoth Talladega Superspeedway in Talladega, Alabama. Getting set for a restart after one caution flag coming out on lap 26, a spin by Jason Keller off of turn 2. You just joined us. Almost everyone is pitted with the exception of our leader, Mike McLaughlin.
Green flag waves, cars are restarting. There's see McLaughlin, Nemechek, Earnhardt Jr., and diving to the outside, Brandon LaJoie trying to get a run on the 3-car, and Matt Kenseth trying to follow him. Matt Kenseth was talking about an oil leak or something. Bill Weber, have they decided anything?
Benny, they're not 100% sure, but they believe the leaking fluid is either clutch fluid or power steering fluid. They've told Matt to be very conscious of everything on that race car, but they've also told him it is definitely not an engine problem. To Ray Dunlap.
Well, Bill, to give you an update on Mike McLaughlin and their situation, this was not necessarily pre-planned race strategy. It was kind of an accident, but Mike has the lead right now. They figure they can go to lap 47 or 50 on fuel. Todd Bodine came in for fuel, and it only took 10.5 gallons, so they've got plenty of fuel left to make it to the next pit stop.
And that's the reason Mike McLaughlin did not pit.
I guess that they're going to make it on one stop, so they'll just want to wait and go ahead and stop. If it's on the green flag, they'll just stop. Meanwhile, he's losing lead as LaJoie goes by on the outside.
LaJoie is a man on a mission after when they dropped the green flag. He pulled out and came from 4th or 5th in line to lead this thing, and he's done it all on the outside. Kenseth's right there behind him, and he's getting some help. With Jeff Green right behind him. Those guys are pushing, but he's leading this pack pretty fast right now.
Now we check LaJoie and go on board with him. Check our telemetry as he goes through the corner. Drops down to about 187 miles per hour. Now as he comes off, he will start accelerating back up. Speed will start picking up as Mike McLaughlin trying to get by Matt Kenseth.
Kyle, Mike McLaughlin's got an awfully strong race car. He pulled a moment ago without a lot of help, although he's got Nemechek behind him now. He pulled back up a couple of car lengths on LaJoie.
Yeah, I just don't think Mike's car got up to speed, or anybody's car, for that matter, as quick as LaJoie's car. LaJoie's car just killed him on that restart. Now that these cars are wound up after about a lap and a half, then the inside line, you'll see it pick up speed.
Saw Dave Blaney and Todd Bodine a moment ago as they went 4 wide down the backstretch. Now here comes the Gould's Pump Chevy for Mike McLaughlin. Former NASCAR Modified Series Chevy back in 1988 up in the northeastern part of the country. A veteran now in NASCAR's Busch Series. Running door to door for second spot with Matt Kenseth. And they chase the car number 1 of Brandon LaJoie, the 2-time series champion.
Car 30 line on the outside. Jeff Green has a victory this year in the NASCAR Busch Series. McLaughlin's going to pull up now right behind Brandon LaJoie and lead the cars in 3rd place side by side. That's Joe Nemechek on the inside, the blue, red, and white, and Matt Kenseth, the yellow number 17.
Looks like 190-mile-per-hour pace lap as they are side by side. And take a look from high above Talladega Superspeedway.
As McLaughlin goes for the lead, getting a little push from Nemechek. Meanwhile, Nemechek's trying to get a run on McLaughlin. Who will lead this lap? It will be Mike McLaughlin. Meanwhile, they're side by side. That's Dave Blaney on the inside and Todd Bodine in the middle.
And right behind Blaney was Chuck Bound, the former series champion in the 63 car. He was all the way down with left side tires on the apron. Here's the Superflow roof cam for Chuck Bound, and what a move he made a moment ago as they spread out right in front of him. That's Blaney's Amoco car right in front of him. There's Earnhardt Jr., the 3 car going by.
It's like Blaney lost some momentum off the second corner. A little bit of a bump there from Chuck Bound on Dave Blaney.
Yeah, you saw Blaney's hand pop up. It was about the time he got hit that he was having to check up a little bit in front. That's a fast part of the racetrack where the draft really comes into play because you're turning left and the cars on the outside line block the wind before the inside line. Inside line really just picks up a lot of speed right there. Blaney threw up his hands about the time he got tapped.
Well, our point leader has already called it a day, and the man who came in third in the points is standing by with Bill Weber.
And that's Jason Keller off the spectacular win at Bristol. Your day's over early. What happened back there?
I got some help. Fleming Team IGA Chevrolet running great. Best I've ever run at Superspeedway. Qualified well, and it's a shame our day, days early, over early, but in the drivers meeting they preach about, give and take. There's a lot more taking out there right there than giving, and his day will come.
Very angry but somewhat subdued Jason Keller. Tempers will flare, and we told you at the top of the show there is absolutely no margin for error at these speeds, inches apart at Talladega.
This is Randall DeJoy's onboard camera, the Bob Evans restaurant on board, looking back at Matt Kenseth and also Chuck Bound on the inside. Chuck Bound looks back at Todd Bodine, the Phillips 66 car. Kind of touched the apron with that left front, did Todd Bodine.
Yeah, Todd was all over the track there for some reason in the middle of the corner, which is kind of bizarre to get it. You see those cars almost pinch. They come together right there and almost pinch the blue car right there in the middle. He has to check up a little bit, and now you can see him dropping out of the picture.
Now Dale Earnhardt Jr., that blue car is in the middle, and look at him going by on both sides.
But the reason he's dropping like he's dropping was those cars came together almost. He saw it happening. He checked up a little bit. He was in the middle, but he saw it. He checked up a little bit. And when you have to lift for 1 second here, for just a portion of a second, man, you start dropping like a rock.
And for the fans who may not be aware, at Talladega, Kyle, you basically hold your right foot flat on the floorboard and you don't let up until it's time for a pit stop.
No, I tell you what, most guys drive this thing, and talking about restarts and stuff like that, most guys run wide open, and the only time you slow down, or the way you slow it down, is you put your foot on the brake and you slow it down. You never want to come off the accelerator because it takes time for the butterflies to open up in the carburetor and for the car to accelerate again. So you just bind it up with the brake and then jump off the brake.
Never backing off the throttle, just slow down by touching the brakes.
Well, the fans have not sat down yet. Over 90,000 strong here at Talladega. And what a show they are seeing. NASCAR Busch Series style. We are still in the early laps at Talladega Superspeedway. We'll be back with more exciting NASCAR Busch Series action after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
Please, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. No, my posture sucks right now. I'm all laid down in the seat. All right, man.
He's kind of slouched.
Whatever you're holding, keep holding. You're projecting.
Yeah, that's it. I'd be speaking like this.
Did you hear that yesterday?
Yeah.
Everybody remember that.
I don't believe I was told that yesterday.
I asked him commercial. I said, you want to do that? He said, yeah, I'll talk. I said, okay.